Hello there, my name is Angelica Meluzara, BS at English 3, and for today we are going to talk about the curriculum influences. When looking at a curricular vision in the higher education environment, one must consider the influences that affect change as well as the barriers that might inhibit change. Three major influences on curricular change include external influences, organizational influences, and internal influences. So these influences are necessary to understand the collaborative effort of faculty and administration in the curriculum review process. First, we are going to talk about external influences. So, the higher education curriculum has historically been considered the work of the faculty. More recently, however, external influences such as society, government, alumni, and others are affecting curriculum development and the curricular change process. So the accreditation bodies expect more from the educational institution, especially in the area of assessment of student learning. So this external influence has caused a number of educational institutions to engage in a curricular review in an effort to identify the desired student learning outcomes. Next, we are going to talk about organizational influences. Okay, so in addition to the external influences, a higher education institution must address the organizational influences that affect the educational change process and the degree of the collaboration. So some of the structural barriers to change result from the typical change of higher education institutions, which include separation by the disciplines, with many units making decisions within the larger institution. So also, educational institutions are known for being slow to make decisions. For example, we have the academic affairs, complex and long governing process of reviewing and approving curriculum updates, the initiatives, and etc. So the higher education leaders find it quite challenging to bring change at the level of the institution due to the large numbers of natural barriers that are already in place in education. Furthermore, the role of shared governance is another organizational factor that must be considered in curricular change efforts. So the collaboration regarding decision making can have a vast impact on the educational institution's ability to implement curricular changes. Lastly, we are going to talk about internal influences. The educational change process is largely affected by the individuals involved in the change. Researchers who study the issue of change and education identify the individual as an important factor in the process. The attitudes of the people often affect the change effort. So there are two groups of individuals that exist. First, we have those people who are the targets of change and the agent of change. So the internal influences such as the change agent or process leader, the leadership team, the faculty, and the larger community affect curriculum development and change. Okay, so we have here the faculty. So they are the ones who provide opportunities for open and frank discussion with the faculty in the design and development phase. That is very essential. So the leadership team needs to seek ample input from the faculty and staff since collaboration will likely assist with the implementation. So a system of reporting back to the leadership must be in place so that everyone's input can be considered. So creating a sense of ownership means that all ideas will be documented and considered at some point by the larger group. Curriculum is a fundamental matter for the well-being and effectiveness of higher education. So no matter how you define curriculum, let's just say for example, you are going to define it as learning experiences, contents, objectives, courses, and etc. It is one of the most significant matters in higher education. So understanding the different curriculum influences is useful in knowing the different factors that are needed to be considered in developing a curriculum. It provides the sources of data and information for developing the curriculum. So, knowing these curriculum influences is useful in making the curriculum more relevant and responsive to the educational system of the Philippines. First off, we are going to talk about students as one of the influences in the curriculum. So, learners have different interests, needs, talents, abilities, learning styles, and thinking preferences. So, all of those are important in course planning. Teachers believe that the students could learn more if their interests and planning styles are considered when planning their courses. Many students want a variety of learning experiences in their class and practical application of their lessons in real life situations. The learner is another source, so the students is where curriculum comes from. This source influences curriculum designed by stressing student-centered learning activities, and students are not passive objects but active individuals who participate in their learning. So the students, their experiences from their own education, they will be able to give advice on student resources and facilities that are favorable position to judge other aspects of curricula, such as the balance and relevance of course content and assessment. Furthermore, they came from different families with different cultures, religious affiliations, beliefs, language, and socio-economic status. So when the teachers plan their courses, they always keep this in mind. They recognize that their previous experiences with the students, including the students' performance in class, are sources of valuable information about the students' capabilities. Many teachers observe during their classes that students' backgrounds, especially their demographic characteristics, influence their attitude and performance toward learning. Thus, students bring them with their culture in school. For college, the academic background of students is influential in curriculum planning. As students took up their basic education in either public or private schools in the provinces, their academic skills and learning habits differ from those of the city. For instance, some students have poor communication skills because of poor background in English education and their basic education. So that's it for a student as one of the influences in curriculum. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learn a thing or two.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jomie Libres, and my topic is all about the school vision, mission, and core values of the curriculum. So, what is vision? A clear concept of what the institution would like to become in the future. Second, provides the focal point of unifying element according to which the school staff, faculty, students perform individually or collectively. Guiding posts around which all educational efforts, including curricula, should be directed. Very ambitious. Example here, we have first, a model performing high school where students are equipped with knowledge, skills, and strength of character to realize their potential to the fullest. Second, commits to the exemplary Christian education for life and responsive to the needs of the total person and the world. So we have the mission. It spells out how it intends to carry its vision. Target: to produce the kind of persons the students will become after having been educated over a certain period of time. Example here is to produce globally competitive lifelong learners, commits to the total development of individuals for life adjustment and to the upliftment of the economically deprived but deserving students through quality instruction, updated facilities and curricula responsive to the needs of the times. The goals. Educational objectives. Sources, the learners, the society, and the fund of knowledge. Example here is build a strong foundation of skills and concepts. Efficient and effective administration, responsive of the needs of the university and community. Educational objectives. Benjamin Bloom and Robert Major defined educational objectives in two ways. Explicit formulations of the ways in which students are expected to be changed by the educative process, and intent communicated by statement describing a proposed change in learners. I have here the examples of the core values. The school's vision, mission, and core values are very influential factors in developing the curriculum. They are the fundamental basis in developing the curriculum goals and objectives, content, learning experiences, and evaluation. These three factors are included in all the lesson plans or course syllabi to ensure that the core values of institution are included in the syllabi. That would be all. Thank you.
Admission and retention policies. These policies set the standard of what kind of students are admitted and what are the things they need to do as students of the institution until they graduate. School rules set to give order and provide smooth implementation of the curriculum. Rules develop the hidden curriculum of the school. Faculty members. Faculty members bring with them their educational background, experiences, expertise in personal, professional, and political views of the institution, which influence the way they plan, develop, and implement the curriculum. Teachers are the key implementers of the curriculum. The success of any curriculum and instruction highly depends on teachers.
Good day, everyone. I am Maria Analut Yongson, and as part of the continuation of the previous discussion, I am here to discuss about the school administrators and board of trustees. So, the school administrators and the board of trustees not just set and approve rules for the school, but also administer the planning, implementation, and evaluation of the curriculum. So, as what we have observed in our school, the BITIC's Board of Trustees are the one who foresee the situation on towards the implementation of the said curriculum. So, di ba, makita na to nga, ang nasa admin o ang members sa Board of Trustees, gitanaw gyud nila if kung ang curriculum nga gi-implement nila is effective ba sa mga student, and based on their assessment and evaluation, how are they going to improve or maintain the said implemented curriculum. So it has been said here that they provide administrative and leadership support for the implementation of the curriculum. Kaya we all know nga, ang teachers is the one nga mao'y magkanang, they're the ones who will implement the curriculum. But then, it is the rule of the school administrators and the board of trustees ug unsaon nila pag-train sa ilahang mga teachers and faculty in order for them to be equipped with the skills needed for them to be competitive enough nga mahimong effective ang curriculum nga gi-implement. So, we have here the administrators served as the curriculum and instructional leaders. Okay, as what I have said earlier, it is the teacher who will implement, but then it will be the rule of the school administrators and the board of trustees nga mo'y mo overlook, mo'y mo oversee, mo'y mo plan, o mo'y mo evaluate sa curriculum. So the teachers, the faculty, and the school administrators and board of trustees will work together in order to have an effective curriculum. So lastly, we have here that the academic preparation and previous experiences of the administrators can also be noted to influence the development of the curriculum. Kaya di ba we all know nga, ang school administrators or kaning mga board of trustees, sila man jud ang makadawat kung unsay mga problema sa school with regards to the students' performances, with regards sa status sa school in terms of academic. So since they are the ones who receive that sort of that certain concern, so with that experiences or with that feedbacks they get out from the students and the parents or the teachers and the faculty, ana sila makakita og basis kung unsaon nila pag-implement or unsaon nila pag-improve sa ilahang gi-implement nga curriculum if ever na ay mga concern. But if there is no concern, so unsaon sad nila pag-maintain ang effectivity sa curriculum nga ilahang gisat. So that would be my topic, and please bear with us for the continuation of other curriculum influences. Thank you.
Accrediting agencies. Accrediting agencies are equally influential in basic education and in higher education. They set the necessary standards for curriculum, instruction, faculty, and facilities, and influence how the curricular programs are governed. Examples: Philippine Accrediting Association of Schools, Colleges, and Universities.
Good day everyone, I'm Irish Dian Basbas, and today I'm gonna discuss about government policies and agencies. Before we jump into the different agencies and their policies that governs Philippine educational system, let me first give you a brief definition or a summary as to why government agencies and policies is very important in terms of education. So these are very important because they help a school establish operating procedures and create standards of quality for learning and teaching, as well as set out expectations and account, meaning that without these policies and regulations, schools would lack the structure and function necessary to provide the educational needs of students. So policies are created for the common good of everyone, especially in schools. Policies are created so that everyone can make sure that the students inside the schools are learning with highest quality, they are safe, and all the learnings inside the school are effective to them and helpful in future purposes. Next, what role government play in education? The department is primarily responsible for the formulation, planning, implementation, and coordination of the policies, standards, regulations, plans, programs, and projects in areas of formal and non-formal education. So meaning, the government or the governing bodies or an individual or an institution that will make the regulations into account, or they are the one who makes, assess, and do everything so that a regulation is implemented and is making sure that the regulations they implemented are helpful or the things that are needed by the students to be successful. The first government agency that we have in our line is the Department of Education, or also known as DepEd. In basic education, DepEd issues department orders and memoranda that serve as guide for all public and private schools in the country. It also prescribes the official curriculum for basic education and issues the guidelines for operation for private schools. So meaning that DepEd's main task is to manage and govern the Philippine system of basic education, which consists of primary and the secondary, or which we know as the elementary and the high school. It is the chief formulator of Philippine educational policy and responsible for all the Philippine primary and secondary schools, which either be for public and private. So, our example here for the Department of Education is the Basic Education Plan 2030, or also known as BEDP 2030. This is considered as the first long-term plan of the department for basic education that covers kindergarten to senior high school, including non-formal education. This aims to address the current challenges faced by the basic education sector through its four pillars, namely access, equity, quality, and resiliency. So this kind of policy was implemented so that we can bridge the gap of the quality of education that we have for the country and to the international standards of quality systems. So the next line in here is the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, in which this is the tier that we belong, the college students. For tertiary education, CHED, through its series of memorandum orders, prescribes the minimum general education and professional courses, course credits, and course descriptions to be taken by the students. It also prescribes the faculty qualifications, facilities, and other requirements for the implementation and administration of the courses. So, what CHED does for college students is that they make sure or they assess that the courses that the students take into college are in line with the field of specification that they have, and they will make sure that the courses are credited once, or if it happens that you wanted to shift courses, and also make sure that the main focus of your study is your field of specification or targets the field where you are good at. An example of a policy under CHAD is the General Education Curriculum, which means is a program that develops students' general knowledge, literacy, skills, and competencies to equip them with a foundation for lifelong learning and advanced academic curricula. So the last in line here is the Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA. It is tasked to manage and supervise technical education and skills development in the Philippines. Examples: direct training activities, and examples of direct training activities are carpentry, welding, cookery, and etc. So the TESDA, the main goal of TESDA is that they want to develop the Filipino workforce with world-class competence and positive work values, and to provide quality technical education and skills development through its direction, policies, and programs. And that is why most or some Filipinos prefer to take TESTA and pass NC2 and NC3, because this is a very important or an edge for them when they apply for a job outside or overseas. So, alright, that's all that I have in my slides for today. And just to have a short recap, the government agencies that we have for a Philippine educational system or Department of Education, who handles primary and secondary levels, and for Commission on Higher Education, they handle tertiary level, and lastly, Technical Educational and Skills Development Authority, who focuses on direct activities that is very helpful for an individual, especially when they ask or apply for a job. Yeah, so I hope everyone was able to get something beneficial about the topic that I just discussed. And once again, this is Irish Dian Basbas discussing government policies and agencies. Thank you.
Market demands, general and alumni. Market demands or needs of the society are very influential in planning and developing curriculum. It is imperative that students are prepared in terms of knowledge, values, and skills to meet the need and demands of different institutions in the society. For example, graduates are expected to develop or possess 21st century skills. They are expected to be technologically literate. They are also expected to develop graduates that can be assets and good citizens of the society. Alumni. The alumni are also considered as the one of the external influences on curriculum development. The alumni are very helpful in terms of donating money to support programs for students, faculty scholarships, professorial chairs, facilities, and financing students' activities. Besides financial help, their comments or their evaluation feedback based on their previous experiences as students are very useful information for improving the implemented curriculum of the school. The alumni are really a living testimony of the curriculum or the quality of education offered by a particular school.
Good day, everyone. My name is Hannah May Quinter, and I am the next reporter about the curriculum influences. These are entitled Media and Information and Communication Technologies, also known as the ICT, and the Church and Church-related agencies. Next, we have Media and Information and Communications Technologies. Media and Information and Communications Technologies, or the ICT, are two of the external curriculum influences. The presence of technology, especially the internet, enables students and teachers to access almost all the information they need for teaching and learning. This allows students and faculty members to access online journals, papers, and other information from the internet to be used for teaching and learning. Technology connects the school to the global community. Inasmuch as ICT is changing the landscape of schooling, it is also changing how the courses are planned and implemented, especially how the content of the curriculum will be put together. Although it is expensive to have full ICT integration in schools, administrators try their best to achieve this goal. Computers, LCD projectors, internet facilities, and other forms of technology are made available for the instructional purposes in the school. So, for today, we all know how the internet plays an important role in our life, especially kita as students and teachers. Why? Because we are no longer using the traditional way. Okay, before we are using visual aid when we discuss in front of our students. However, karon we use PowerPoint now. We use our laptops, we use our phone. So it is easier for us. Okay, di ba dali man ma-catch atong attention ug na ay mga animation, na ay mga PowerPoint, na ay mga pictures nga i-provide sa atong teacher. So usa na karason ngano ang information or the ICT is very important sa ato ang generation karon. So it's very unlikely before yun. So that would be all about the media and information communication technologies. And lastly, we have the church and related agencies. For religious schools, the different religious orders and the church play an important role in school. Many religious institutions serve as extension programs or mission programs of the churches and religious orders that establish them. The schools also offer institutional requirements such as Bible subjects, theology, and Christian living subjects. These subjects are required to all students. Religious schools also offer retreats, chapel services, and other religious activities to their students. So for some school, nag-offer sila og kurso na theology. Now for some schools, also during when I was still in my senior high years, so we always have these kind of retreats every year na. So we visit a certain place where we spend the whole day sa ana nga activity. So sa ako ang part, so it is very important as a student nga naatay mga ingon-ani, naatay mga chapel services, naatay mga retreats, because it will help us as a student to become the better version of ourselves. Nga naman there maka-learn ta og mga about kanang Panginoon. So it is very important na nato nga naataan ang kinaiya. So for some schools, ilang mapadana sila og mga representative nga mo join sa aning mga ani nga mga activities kay kabawon pud sila nga it's for the goodness sa ilang estudyante, diba? So that would be all about the church and church-related agencies.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayan Elhel, and I'm your reporter for today. And our topic for today is school facilities and other resources. School and facilities and other resources are very important in the implementation of the curriculum. School facilities are essential tools to facilitate and stimulate learning programmers. School facilities in any school system range from the school plant to classroom, library, and other infrastructures that would likely motivate students towards learning. Experience shows that if school facilities are available, students tend to have interest in learning. This will invariably lead to high performance. Hence, this may invariably affect their academic performance. The respondents explained that school facilities like classrooms, libraries, ICT equipment, dormitories, school clinics, counseling office, canteen, chapel for sectarian schools, and laboratories are very useful in providing quality education, especially in implementing the curriculum. Our next topic is student services. Student Development Services refers to the services and programs designed for the exploration, enhancement, and development of the student's full potential for personal development, leadership, and social responsibility through various institutional and/or student-initiated activities.
The last among the influences are the existing student services or existing student support system institutionalized by the schools. Among these services are the following: campus ministry, guidance and counseling services, health services, financial assistance and scholarships, and lastly, students affairs office.
These curriculum influences and sources are very important in curriculum development. Responding to these curriculum sources and influences helps curriculum workers and developers in planning, developing, and implementing a relevant and responsive curriculum for different learners and schools. They help everyone involved in and affected by a curriculum understand the context in which one is developed. Moreover, when evaluating a curriculum, these curriculum sources and influences are the ones that are looked into and reviewed.